And we are now live for the first time in like 7 years. So it has been a while, dude.
That's funny. It has
Yeah,
been.
yeah. Are you gonna share and stuff?
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Sure. No, take your time. We're all just waiting on you.
Just waiting on me.
It's okay. We have nothing else better to do. Listeners have not heard anything and tuned in just to hear basically us waiting on you. So no worries. Just whenever you're ready. Is that your final answer? Are you locked in?
I'm locked in.
All right. We're
Locked
gonna
in.
go ahead and
All right.
roll that beautiful bean footage. Here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
Right.
But I'm very reluctant when we start like interfering with your ability to make a livelihood and your freedom and all these other things. Like, oh, because just whose
You're
morals
putting
do
him
we
in a
get to
victim
like?
role, though. You're putting him
Huh?
in a victim role now, though. You're putting him in
No,
a
he
victim
chose to
role.
do what he did, but I just
Okay,
don't. I
so
don't like it when
so
companies start trying to
he's a
interfere
leader,
with his
right?
personal life. He's a
And I do
coach.
agree with that. I do agree with that. But I personally don't think the company tried to interfere with his personal life. What they try to interfere is their bottom line. And what they're saying is that our culture matters, right?
I get it.
There's a culture in the San Francisco 49ers. There's a culture in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, the Celtics are a long-standing championship
Sure.
organization. I'm sure there's a culture within that organization that regardless of what all, and we do know players and coaches and employees of all types, even secretaries probably do stuff that aren't really good for that culture, but based on your
Sure.
position and based on how out it is, that culture is not going to affect that locker room and
Sure.
the image that you choose to control. Well,
Yeah. Too much
obviously,
is given, much is expected.
obviously something happened that they feel was going to affect it,
Right.
or it's going to affect it anyway. And they knew, look, if we don't, like, I think you were right early on when you said they had to get ahead of it. I think once they knew
Yeah.
this is the way it's probably going to go, then it's like, oh, well, then it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. We're going to have to get all the way ahead of it, take our hits now. And then when it all comes out, they'll see, now we understand why you did what you did, boss.
I agree. I think something was sketchy enough that
Right.
is and maybe it was or wasn't depending on the time you're from, right?
Right.
Maybe in today's world it is sketchy enough that they're like,
Right.
nope, nip this in the bud right now.
Right.
This is going to be a disaster for us.
Right.
But even then, why suspend and not fire? Like that's the weird part to me.
Because
a year is a long time.
There is, but again, there's rumors on that whether that it was a choice that he made. Do you want suspension or submit your resignation? I think it allows you time to try to work it out. I think it's realistic. They really do want to keep him, but they don't know if they can. They don't know if they're going to be able to. And also, if you fire, there could be lawsuits involved. So it's like,
you know what it feels like then? It's just, it feels like the age-old thing that all athletes and celebrities just go away long enough for somebody else to screw up.
Yes, sir. Yes.
You got basically a year, and in that year's time, somebody else is going to do something stupid, and you'll no longer be the flavor of the month. And then we'll bring it back, and it'll just be a blip on the radar.
Right.
That's what it feels. Just go away for a little while.
Right. And I want to answer to something like, because I think somebody needs to challenge Stephen A with some of the dumb shit he's saying on ESPN. He was out there saying, I know a lot of people in the NFL, NBA that have private things and we never talk about them. Pause for a second, brother, because I remember Mr. Kobe Bryant did some things that were talked about not only on your guys' show, but everybody's shows when he cheated on his wife. And then he bought like a $10 million ring, and then it was gone. Oh, you're allowed to be a cheater. You're still the greatest of all time. We love you no matter what.
They talked an awful lot about Jordan, his gambling, and some women he was with.
Tiger Woods. They talked a lot about Tiger Woods and his private stuff. So don't say that we never talk about people that do things like this. No, when you do stuff that becomes juicy enough, and clearly there's some juice to this, we just haven't seen the squeeze yet. We just haven't tasted that squeeze yet. But it's coming. It's coming. So that's Coach Udoka, if you're a Celtics fan, I'm sorry for you, man. I mean, that's upsetting. It's frustrating for you. But hopefully your organization is good enough. You guys were doing good last year. Hopefully your organization is good enough to get through this and to come out the other side. I mean, hell, you're saving some money now, so go out and shop and get yourself a coach.
Yeah, and if you're
they clearly said that there's a strong financial hit to the coach, so they're not going to pay him his full salary.
Yeah, and if you're huge into what's going to happen, make sure you're following TMZ, because there will be somebody leaking it. Somebody somewhere knows more, and they're going to come out and say something. Once you start putting checks, in people's hands, suddenly they start to get real talkative. So somebody in his life, I guarantee you right now, there's 1,000 reporters all chasing everybody down and every lead down. They all want to be the first one. So it won't take long before we know exactly what happened.
Yeah, it's all coming out. And mind you, people, we're going to hear perspectives.
And I hope with everything you're going to hear as a player.
Oh, dude,
I can't express to you how much I want that to be true. Like, I want that to be what it is.
I hope
want
it's
it
Kevin
to be like
McHale.
A star player.
I hope it's Kevin McHale.
That would be amazing. I want that to be true so bad.
That would be awesome.
Oh my gosh,
that would be so awesome.
Players. That'd be great.
God, we're sick. We're sick, dude.
Yeah, whatever.
It's the only thing that's going to get us to talk about basketball.
If you want a drama, man, let's go all the way drama.
Let's go all the way. Let's go.
I don't know. Don't have it, man. Let's go all in. Pedal to the metal.
Matter of fact, make it worse since you're the Celtics. Make it a Laker.
It was within the organization.
Make it Magic Johnson.
That
would be so good. Anyway, let's move on. What's the next topic, man?
Well, let's get some of the other ones out of the way that won't take a tremendous amount. We'll do the Aaron Judge baseball thing.
Man, did you hear about that? All right, so
I didn't hear about it until this morning when you told me.
So, kids, here's what happened. So Aaron Judge is up for like hitting the most home runs in the season and whatever.
What's his first 60 home runs?
60, right? 60. Yeah. It's like there's only like 6 players or whatever. So they're waiting for this ball to be hit. He hits the ball, playing the Pirates, by the way. And they were in New York. I was there. By the way, I was down there by the Pittsburgh Stadium watching it, but I wasn't, because it was in New York though. But anyway, so he hits the home run. This college kid, this 20-year-old college kid, Michael Kessler, he catches the ball, right? He gets the ball, has to fight for it in the first place. It's a struggle. It's not an easy catch. He gets the ball, gives it back, Trinity. Now this baseball is worth, some people say 50,000, some people say 100. That on the radio in Pittsburgh, the whole time while I was there, they were saying the ball is worth $150,000, and this kid's an idiot.
But it's like a house, man.
Trinity, you get a chance of a lifetime to cash in on that seat that you've gone to baseball games all your life with your little glove. Right. The only reason you're even sitting out there in outfield in home run territory is not for the view.
You're
to
catch a ball.
It's to catch a ball. Yeah. You finally get one, and it's not just any home run ball.
It's a big deal.
It's Aaron Judge, future Hall of Famer. It's the 60th. Everybody's watching you and listening, and you give it back. Where do you sit on this? What is your initial thought on it?
I don't know, man. I'm torn. Like, my initial thought is it's baseball, so I don't really care. It's my initial thought, if I'm honest. But
yeah, we just talked about the NBA. We don't care about them either.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know, man. Like, I see both sides of that story, right? Like, I on one hand, I totally understand the idea of like, no, dude, this is my payday. Like, everybody else is cashing in. This is an opportunity. I don't want to be like a fool and not cash in on this potential opportunity. I mean, $150,000, dude, like that pays off my house. You know what I mean? Like, and all I did was catch a ball and I can pay off my house. Like, that's my kids. That's my legacy. That like, I'm going to give that up for what, dude? Like a millionaire who's going to like, I get that perspective. I 100% get it.
Right.
But I'm torn with my integrity. Right,
your integrity. Okay.
Well, the other side of it.
Explain the integrity.
The integrity part is doing the right thing. Like, it's his ball. He hit the right thing. Like, that's how my mom raised me. Is doing the right thing. It's his ball. He hit it. Like, I have no right to it. Like, I get that concept, but I just, I got to be honest, man. I think at this point in my life, I'd hold out and I'd want money.
So let's walk down that path that you just said. The right thing. You said it's his ball.
I mean,
It's
he hit
Aaron
it.
Judge's ball. No,
It means
that ball
something to
belongs to
him.
the Major League Baseball.
It means something to him.
It means something to everybody. That's why it's worth money.
No, but it's not mine. It only means something to everybody else because the money associated with it. To him, there's an actual memory attached to it. Like that's my 60th home run.
So it's a memory attached to me if I caught the ball. Are you kidding? I was there, and that ball came, and I fought everybody, and I got the 60th home run. What do you mean something? First of all, the ball belongs to Major League Baseball, right? There's some sports that if the ball goes in the stands, you got to give it back.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? That means the fans or the players do not own that equipment, right?
Sure.
Until it goes in the stands. Once it's in the stands in baseball, who owns it? The fans own it. That's a rule in baseball. Your bat flies in the stands, that's my bat. The ball lands in the stands, that's my. But you're allowed to keep whatever comes in the stands, right? Okay,
I don't know. I assume so.
But you said the right thing. Let's talk about the right thing to do.
Sure.
You think Aaron Judge is going to say, "Listen, next year, you fans are so awesome that the right thing to do is for me to play for you guys for free."
But you know what? Doing the right thing has never been predicated on what somebody else does. I do the right thing regardless.
I'm just saying the right thing is only what on the kid's side. The right thing's on Aaron Judge. The right thing to do would have been, "Hey kid, I'm glad you want to give me the ball, but this is what the ball is worth. So I'm going to give you that money."
I agree. That would have been the right thing on his part.
I'm not going to have you give it to me, brother. Thank you very much, and I appreciate that. You're a good kid, but here is how much I'm going to give you $50,000.
I agree. That would have been the right thing to do on his end. I agree.
Right? Okay. So the right thing for the kid to do is for himself and his family. He rightfully, as a baseball attendee, every baseball it's own. The right thing for you to do is take care of yourself in that situation, because the player, it's all about their contract. You don't think Aaron's going to use that home run, that same home run, as a negotiating tool for a bigger contract for more money? So if Aaron Judge is going to use that opportunity to make more money, why can't you as a fan use that opportunity to make more money? Why is it the right thing for the fan to do is to never make money off the game? Why? We're only allowed to pay for the game, but we can't make money off the game?
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that one.
He paid for that seat. He paid for the seat. He paid for, I don't know how many times he's been to games. So there's probably thousands and thousands of dollars that kid has invested in games. And then, boom, it's a payday.
No, I 100% would do that. But I understand the perspective of both sides. Like, I get it.
But I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think the right thing to do is to just at least mutually say, look, I want you to have the ball. But at the same time, you do realize I'm giving you an extreme amount of money, and
that's probably how I would have approached it. That's how I would have personally approached it.
Let's at least have a conversation about this. Instead, it goes, look, I'm going to let you and your friends come hang out with me for a couple hours. I'll let you take some pictures. I'll give you a different ball signed, and then let's call it a day. It's like, really? Really?
Yeah. Well, I don't have any loyalty to them, so I would absolutely do that for my house and everything else if I thought I could make him payday. You know, the problem is if he hits another ball tomorrow, then that ball's worthless.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's still not worth it. Athletes always slam the fans, right?
Sure.
It's the fans that make your salaries, man. The fans make your salaries.
100%.
So yeah, they're going to say some stupid shit. They're going to be mean sometimes. They're not always loyal, but you know what? Neither are you. And you're getting paid and you're not loyal. You know what I mean? You know, some of you jump for the next dollar sometimes. You don't stay in a city you love sometimes. You chase the next dollar, whoever pays you. Pro athletes are quick to say when they feel disrespected by fans of the city or they didn't want me. No, they wanted you. They just wanted you to play better, or they wanted you to take less money. That's you. If you're already on a team and you get traded or you get cut, it's not that they didn't want you. You just didn't perform to the ability they're paying for, or you wanted too much for what you are paying or what you are playing for. Yep. You know what I mean? And so that's the reality. But you never say it like that. You say, "Oh, they didn't want me, so I left." No, they wanted you. The day they got you, they started rooting for you, man. You don't think every fan that if you're wearing the uniform of that fan, they want you to succeed. They may be hesitant. They may talk crap like Trinity talks shit about Garoppolo, but don't think that Trinity wasn't happy Garoppolo was there when Trey Lance went down. He was happy on that day.
Yes, I was.
He was sure
I was
happy.
happy
He
for
knew
the W.
he can't even spell Garoppolo, but you never can spell the third string quarterback because you don't even know what that name is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So he's just lucky there was a name that he can attach to it. You
Yep.
know what I mean? So fans are allowed to be obnoxious. Fans are allowed to be mean. And guess what, fans? You're allowed to get paid on a scenario like that. And damn it, that was not the right thing for you to do, kid. That was not a wise thing for you to do in your life. You're a 20-year-old young man. You're in college. You're way too idealistic. This is a symptom of your culture at 20 years old. You actually think that there's $1 million around the corner that you're going to get anyway. You probably will never, ever, ever see $50,000 cash in one check again, son. You should have took it.
You know, the only athlete that I think that I can recall right off the top of my head that has who gets it as far as taking less money for the bigger picture is Tom Brady.
Yes,
He's the
sir.
only one I've ever seen that is willing to restructure and take a little bit less money in order for the whole team to prosper, and that's why he has
Right.
7 rings. Because look at what happened to Joe Flacco.
He did
Joe
it more than
Flacco-
most.
Joe
Roethlisberger
Flacco-
did it too. Roethlisberger did it too.
Yeah,
but,
I don't
but
recall
Brady
that
did
one, but
Brady did it on a bigger scale. It
Joe
actually worked.
Flacco is an example. Joe Flacco won the Super Bowl with the Ravens, came in for his contract and asked for everything, and they gave it to him. And then they couldn't afford to have anybody else on the team. And look where Joe Flacco is now. He's in the Jets somewhere, playing out the rest of his days before he stopped at Broncos. Because you took so much money, we can't afford to pay anybody else. So now there you go. And so to me, I think Tom Brady's the only one I've ever heard of consistently that just would constantly take. Now, granted, his wife is rich and he's got a bunch of other deals, but he still took less money so the team could win. And it worked. 7 rings.
Yep, you're 100%. You're dead on. Dead on. I think athletes, yes, you need to protect yourself. I think a lot more athletic protection is on the back end, on the players' unions,
Right.
and your lifelong payments than while you're playing. The real focus should be on what happens to all of it. All of us collectively should make a hell of a lot more in retirement than in playing days. But definitely, I get that you want to get paid. I have no problem with that. You should be getting paid. But Trinity's absolutely right. If you want to win or if you want fan engagement, those are 2 ways that you make money. 2 ways you make money. If people out there are buying your jerseys, people out there want to see you, and if you're performing well and the teams pay you well. So
Or if
teams
you
will
marry
pay
a
you.
rich supermodel.
If you're on a championship team, you will be remembered for the rest of your life. I mean, we know guys that don't have big names individually, but they were on championship teams, so they're doing fine no matter what. You know what I mean? So anyway, sorry, kid. Yeah, you're in Pittsburgh. They make fun of you. I tell you, you can flip a channel where they weren't talking shit about this kid. This kid, he's like the biggest idiot in
It's funny.
of the week. They were just talking about this kid over and over again. How much of an
That's
idiot
funny.
he is. So anyway, do a crowdfundme or something like that. Do it. Go fund. Give
All
some money.
Next one we got here. So, for those, or do you know enough to explain it briefly, or do you want me to?
I'll let you do this one.
All right. So the Phoenix Suns, the owner there, I can't remember his name. I think he was the majority owner. So there's multiple ones, but he's the big dog.
Right.
Apparently, it's been widely known for years for individuals within that, area, I guess, that he's kind of been of a crappy boss. He's been kind of rude, disrespectful, misogynistic, with a dash of racism, apparently.
A dash, a few dashes.
Yeah.
Go
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
I was just saying. So that came to light. They had an investigation. It came out that those things were founded. Adam Silver ended up suspending him and fining him. I think it was like $10 million or something. And then some of the players came out and said that wasn't good enough. They wanted to kick him out like they did the guy at the Clippers. They want to have a vote. And he kind of saved them the trouble. He came out and said basically that he's going to look to sell and kind of wash his hands of the whole thing. And the debate right now for some people,
that's what I would do,
is they don't like the idea that he did quote unquote all these bad things, and his punishment is he gets to walk away with a couple $1 billion. Yeah, I mean that's kind of where we're at right now. So the Phoenix Suns are going to be up for sale soon. He's going to walk away even more rich, and kind of their opinions are falling all over the place on this one.
Well, first of all, did you read any of the transcripts?
I did not. I heard some of the reports for some of it. He sounded like I expected him to sound. I think most, if I'm honest, I think most of your really, really, really rich old white dudes right now probably have some sketchy things in their background. I think that's safe to assume. So I'm not shocked, but I'm also not one of those people.
I think it's safe to assume that all people.
Yeah, all people have some skeletons in there.
I'm sorry, is that freezing up?
I just, I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I don't buy into this whole this ideal of I'm not going to buy from your company because at some point somebody attached to the company did something I don't like. If you want to boycott, by
Well,
all means, man, do your thing. It feels very weird to me because um, I think if you started boycotting every company that has somebody that works there that you don't agree with, you would boycott every company on the planet. And I'm personally not willing to do that. And I don't want to come off as a hypocrite because if
yeah.
I don't go to like, I think there was for years there, and they still talk about it, like going to Chick-fil-A because they give money to Christian groups that are anti-LGBT apparently. Like, and so they say, I don't eat there because of this. Which, whatever, if that's how you want to do it, I'm not telling you not to. I'm going to continue to go there because I love their chicken sandwiches and I love their
Yeah,
service.
and the line's long enough, so if you don't go,
Yeah,
that's fine because it's already a
but
long enough line. I don't want to wait
right.
longer.
But if you're telling me you're not going to go to Chick-fil-A because you don't like their stance on like gay marriage, for instance, but you'll go to Walmart and buy a bunch of stuff. I promise you, if you look into the owners of Walmart, you're going to probably find some of the same sentiment. And yet you're going to continue to go there. So just to me, that feels hypocritical. And so I just
Yeah.
don't want to even participate. I acknowledge that, you know what, I'm not friends with you. I might not agree with your politics, but you'd make a damn good chicken sandwich. So
Right,
um,
right.
so I don't know, the idea that him being who he was and he was able to get away with it for so long, like, am I shocked about any of it? No, not really. Do I care that he's not going to be owner anymore? No, not really. Like, I'm okay if they would have kicked him out. I'm okay if they would have kept him. I'm okay if they would have just. I don't really care. Like, I'm not getting any better than $10 million. He was fine, and I don't get a sale of the billions of
Right.
dollars that he. So I don't really care. Like, if you're going to behave that way, then you got to understand there's potentially consequences waiting for you.
So here we are talking about NBA again, and
I
basketball
know
again.
it's twice in one day.
I don't know how this happened twice in one day, but
Well, they
I
keep
did
messing
read
up.
some of the transcripts. I did read some of the transcripts, and to be honest with you, I was expecting to read something like really bad. I really was. The way it was reported
Yeah.
and the way the players have been talking about it, I was expecting to see like harsh things. Here's what I read over and over again. If any of you read it differently, please share it with me. I'd love to see it. But I read they have there was a Cliff Notes kind of version online, so you didn't have to read everything. And it said, these are the main points. And by the
Right.
way, the person that put up these main points, they were putting up these points to show you, see, look how bad this sentence is. And I'm reading the sentence, Trinity. Here's the bad thing about his sentences. The bad thing about his sentences is that he uses the N-word.
Yeah.
The part that makes it not the way they're reporting it is that every time he used it, in all the transcripts that I kept reading, it wasn't that he called anybody that. He was sharing a sentence that someone else said, and he repeated their sentence. In other words,
Yeah.
he took a sentence that a black player said and used that sentence to explain, this is what he said. He said this. And so people did say, hey, yeah, he said that, but you can't say that. So yes, it's true. White people, let me just let you know. I know that sometimes black people use the N-word for themselves, but what we saw in this case, so please be aware, you are not allowed to say it. I don't care if you're repeating a sentence that a black man said. You're not allowed to say it. I don't care if you're repeating a lyric that you hear in a rap song. You're not
So
allowed to say it because
stupid,
that is the violation this man did. Read all the transcripts. There's nothing in the transcript that says he did anything other than he used the words that someone else said over and over again in different stories that he told. Every time he would tell a story and those words were used, he would say them. That's it. So
Well, some of the
everybody out
sexual
there
stuff
that's
too, though.
ever no, but I'm not talking about the sexual stuff as much. But even that, even the sexist stuff, like the main one, I think, God, I'm trying to remember one of them was, he asked, this is really bad. Don't ever ask a woman if she got augmentation. He asked a female in the company, I see you got an upgrade. He said that. I remember that sentence. I see you got an You're not allowed to say that,
Oh
guys.
my
You
god.
can't ask somebody if they got an upgrade. But what I'm saying is none of the things are so like where you would go, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. Or, oh my God, that is the worst thing on earth. Because I know there's a lot of you white dudes out there that have rapped, some Dr. Dre songs, some NWA songs, or and you've used these words when you've done the lyrics. Now, you may not go do them in public where everybody can hear you, but it doesn't mean you haven't said these words while you're doing lyrics. And that's the only thing I can akin it to say, hey, we're in a different world now in 2022. And I think the responsibility comes on us, the minorities, man. You don't hear me use wetback and spick. I don't call myself a wetback or spick, because I don't want you to call me that, Trinity. You know what I mean? So I think we as a people need to take some responsibility a little bit on here. And I think that's always been an issue. It's always been an issue that if we treat ourselves a certain way, then other people are going to treat us that way. So if you call yourself the B words, you're opening up for men to call you that. If black guys, you call yourself the N word, then you're opening up for other people to call you that. Latinos, if we call ourselves spicks and wetbacks, we're opening up for other people to call us that. So we have to take some level of responsibility to get those words out of society, or realize that your motive or reason you use the word matters more than the actual word. Let's get rid of the power of the word. Be like, it's what you mean behind the word that bothers me more. So we got to do one or the other, right? I think that's
There's a third option.
Oh, what's the third option?
It's a word.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's just a word. So
Like,
let's if it's just a word, then let's not get upset about the words and go like, what was his intent? What was that person's intent?
But even if it doesn't matter what his intent was, like, you used a word. Like, okay, wow, congratulations. We have a law in this country, an amendment that says free speech. I'm legally allowed to say what I want, man. Like, you don't have to agree with it. Like, I don't agree with this super sensitive. Like, dude, I grew up in like the hood, man, and so I was called white boy this, white boy that, honky cracker. Okay, like, I gotta be honest, man. I was going to say old and gray, but I'm already there. When I've got grandkids, assuming I have them some point, and I'm sitting there with my grandkids, and they're like, Grandpa, in your whole life, what was the worst thing that you've ever experienced? And I get to tell my grandkids, man, there was one point in my life somebody called me white boy. And my kid's like, oh my gosh, that's the worst thing? Like, yeah, what a great life I've lived. Worst things have happened to me, like just on walking here to set up the stuff, than being called a name. I don't know, man. It just seems very juvenile and trivial to be so obsessed with. At the end of the day, it really is just like sound waves in the air. That's all it really is. It's like,
maybe
if you put your hands on me, we're gonna have a problem. Like, you put your hands on me, we're about to go toe to toe. But because you just say a word, like, okay, cool, you feel better now. Like,
but some would say that's your privilege. Your privilege is that you don't come with the trauma.
We all have that privilege,
No, but I'm saying some would say that
nobody alive
experienced
slavery.
Nobody alive experienced slavery. I mean, there's still issues without slavery. I mean, there's still bias and abuse of power without slavery. But
perpetual
here's my
everywhere.
But my take on this particular situation and this type of situation is, instead of comparing it to maybe somebody's individual experience out there, is that if your boss, the guy writing those big checks, and it's all $1 million, and these are all seven-figure checks. If the guy writing you 7-figure checks wants to make use words like that, I'll be like, yeah, go ahead, dumbass. Yeah, just keep giving me. I'll still take his money.
Yeah, he's still living in a mansion.
Because he's still employing me. I mean, you may use inappropriate words when you tell your story. But it's not unless I'm wrong and they show you somewhere where he goes, that blankety blank did this, or you're a dumb blankety blank, or I don't like blankety blank. If it's that's different. I do believe that's different. But every single part of the transcript that I read was not that. It was always like, and then this player, he says, oh man, and he used the word. And it's like, wow, that's a real different.
Well, why is that different?
That's not what I expected. It's because it's just not what I expected in the story. The way, if you ask the average person what this Phoenix coach did, they're going to say he's a racist and he did all these racist things. But then you read the transcript and then you have to answer it. Do you think that's true racism, or is that just stupidity? There's a difference between racism and stupidity.
Very controversial.
There really is.
Here. Very controversial question here. What does it matter?
Yeah.
Even if he was racist, who cares? What does it matter?
Well,
Why do I care? I'm not married to dude. He's not my father. I don't hang out. Who cares? He's allowed to be racist. We have the right to be an idiot in this
but did you
country.
not? No,
Like,
no,
who
he is allowed
cares?
to be racist. But remember, and the NBA is the social justice warriors
Which, yeah,
of
that's
of
why I don't
sport.
watch the NBA anymore.
So un- un- unless it's
Because I'm
anti-Chinese
sorry,
and
how
the
many,
Chinese people, not
dude?
Chinese government. Chinese government is protected.
What was it? The girl from the Fugees, man. I can't remember her name. Lauryn Hill. She came out and said that her music wasn't for white people. Like, and yet I don't know. She's not canceled. She's like Tommy Hilfiger came out years ago and said there's people who say stupid things and have stupid beliefs, no matter what color you are. So
Right.
why is it
Yeah,
acceptable in certain
you're
areas
right.
and not in other? Like, who cares? You're allowed
Well,
to
that's
have.
the yeah.
It irritates the hell out of me.
I think
Like, we're trying to micromanage everybody's lives and just get over
and I
yourself.
think you should be irritated. Trudy, I think you should be irritated because I
I
think
am.
there's more bias against you than for you at the moment. And there's more bias that's acceptable as long as it's an anti-white sentiment or
Sure.
against white or rich. You throw rich in there or
If you're
Christian in
rich and
there.
white, you're messed up.
I'm just glad I'm not a rich white Christian male, straight male.
Yeah,
Because
conservative
that's the
too.
one person I don't want to be that person on this planet because right now
Yeah.
they're the ones that for real you can say anything about, you can say any sentence about them, you can use any word towards them, and it's absolutely acceptable.
I mean, this
And
dude
that's
right
not
here that we're
excusing
talking
this guy
about.
because this guy, look, if the NBA says, dude, we saw what you said and we don't like it, then that's on them. That's good. Get out of here, dude.
Sure.
But I'm not willing to call him like all the
Sure.
names that I'm hearing people call him.
Yeah, he's made more black millionaires than I have. I
Right.
mean, just
He
I don't know,
also,
man.
also made a lot of money off those black millionaires, and
Sure, it's
but
called
he
business.
put
They
the
all
money
signed
up,
up for
so
it.
that's why he got it. Yep.
Yeah, they
Yep.
all signed up to it. They all
Yep.
knew what they were getting into. I didn't hear
Yep.
any of those black players look at him like, nope, I
Right.
refuse to take your money and sign up and play basketball because I don't like your
Right.
this, that, and the other. No,
Right.
used to even the Clippers when all that stuff happened, they still played. They just wore a different color shirt. You know what I mean? Like, oh, so you're all about it until it comes to your pocket. Then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
not so much. And that's one of the reasons why I don't watch the NBA. LeBron came out with all this stuff, and I was a LeBron fan. He came out with all these things, which I think he should have kept his mouth shut on. But then when it came to China, suddenly he's got nothing to say, And so it's just like, you hypocritical POS, man. Like, either you're all in or you're not. Let's just be honest here, And so for me, that's what I find irritating, man. It's like,
But
stop,
well,
just stop.
that's why I like to be honest about the I'm biased when it ever comes to a Latino. I know my ears perk up more, or
Sure.
I'm more hypersensitive to an anti-Latino sentiment than anybody else. I mean, that's just reality of
And you being
how
honest,
we
I can
are
respect
most of the
that.
time. At least I am.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if you're being honest, I
Right.
can respect that. But don't
Mhm.
piss on me and tell me it's rain.
That's right. Oh, can I piss on you?
No.
Dude, the day that would happen, hey, America, if I ever do that, you will see my face would look very different.
If I'm dumb enough to sit there and let somebody
next
piss on me,
show.
then we got a problem. All right.
I'd come back and go, hello, everybody. Welcome to the couch line. I'd be all messed up. What's
right.
the next topic?
Let's get into the stuff that we care about. NFL.
Oh,
There's so much to talk
dude,
about.
the NFL. Finally, we're talking about a sport that actually matters.
Exactly.
NFL quarterbacks. First of all, let's talk about my quarterback. So I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Flip it around there. There you go.
Oh, gosh.
Pittsburgh Steelers fan, baby. Yeah, Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Love the Pittsburgh Steelers. Trini, all week that I was up in the Pittsburgh area, I have never heard more hate towards the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That made me smile, by the way.
Offensive coordinator Tomlin, Pickett,
That made me smile
Trubisky
so much.
than when I was in Pittsburgh. My God, the biggest mouth on radio up there. I forget his name. Michael something. It's MM are his initials. I always forget his name. He is the biggest Pittsburgh Steeler hater, and he's on radio. He's like a big radio guy there. Oh my God, bro! Just
it makes me so happy.
It does it. Why?
Because you gave me so much shit When I told you I didn't like Garoppolo because he's a fine guy, whatever,
Yes, sir.
but he's not our guy because he makes stupid mistakes, and I'm tired of seeing it.
Yes,
You
sir.
gave me so much shit. Well, I'm a Steelers, and Steelers don't do that. We're loyal. We
Right.
all love our people. And then you
Right.
go into Pittsburgh, and every last one of them are being honest. And I agree with them most likely because I don't think
Yes, sir.
Trubisky's the guy either.
Yes.
But it's just, it makes me smile.
I
It makes me
apologize.
happy.
I apologize because I met all the fans that are like you for your team in Pittsburgh.
It's
Now these aren't
normal.
the same fans. These aren't the same fans that travel for the team or travel with the team. These
No,
aren't the same fans that wherever they move, they open up Pittsburgh Steeler bars. They-
they're not
you-
delusional.
it's not
I don't
about
think
delusional.
Trubisky's your guy. I don't think he's your guy either.
Look, I'm not delusional. I didn't say Trubisky's my guy. Look, there's a difference between being delusional, and being hopeful,
Pickett
and let's root
might
for the
be your
guy
guy.
who's in power, right?
Pickett might
So
be your guy though.
they don't even, dude. I'm down at the University of Pittsburgh, okay, and I go into the Primanti's that you hear so much about. Everybody
The what?
brags about this. It's a restaurant called
Oh,
Primanti's in Pittsburgh. Everybody brags. Everybody from Pittsburgh loves it because they give you these big old and it's a big sandwich. They put the meat, whatever you want, which is let's use the most common one. The most common one is a pastrami sandwich. Then they put a French fries in it, and then they put cold coleslaw on top, and then
ugh.
they smash it in. Bro, I had high hopes, man. I really did. I had high hopes. I thought because I like French fries, I like pastrami. In the bread, what's not to like? It's fresh bread. I saw them slice the bread.
Bro,
What was not good was that stupid cold coleslaw. It's too cold.
I hate coleslaw though.
I'm not a coleslaw eater, but I like jalapeno slaw. Like there's pickled slaw, jalapenos. There's other slaws that have been good. And I had one the next day at a different place. The way they did their slaw, it's different because apparently it's very Germanic up there. So there's slaw everywhere. But the way they did it sucked. So I'm in right across from the University of Pittsburgh. I do there's students everywhere, pit everywhere. And I go, God, man, you guys must be proud of Pickett, huh? How cool is that? The guy goes, Pickett sucked. Took him 5 years to do one decent season.
Wow.
I was like, he's like, he's got a lot to prove before I'll back him. I'm like,
Wow.
damn. It's like, so when you watch sports, you just are good like that. You want to watch sports like this. Prove it to me. I'd rather watch sports like, yeah. All right. Maybe next time. I'd rather be, and I've had this conversation with you. I'd rather be hopeful all the time and be in a good mood than to always be like,
I want that too, but Garoppolo has broken my heart way too many times. I've seen him jimmy up a game too many times for me to be like, yay, Jimmy. Because I was yay, Jimmy, man. When they signed him from Pittsburgh or from New England, I'm like, yo, that's it, man. We're getting the sloppy seconds from New England, but I'll take them because yeah. And then when he first started, I'm like, okay, this is going to be it. And then when he didn't make it the first year, I'm like, all right, man, that's the first year. That's okay. Second year. And I'm seeing him doing a whole bunch of games. I'm like, yeah, boy, we're going to do this. And then like every single year when he has the opportunity to either jimmy up the game or win it, he jimmies it up. He makes a stupid pass that's like, who were you even throwing it to? He'll make literally stupid mistakes. And it's like, dude, you know what? You're a great backup quarterback, but you're just not the dude that's going to take us over. So I used to be the rah, and I am for every new quarterback. I was pro Jeff Garcia, dude. I still think he was an amazing quarterback, but just, man, Jimmy's broken my heart too many times, dude. I'm sorry. There's been too many times, like, and then like big, meaningful games, dude. I'm talking Super Bowl. I'm talking NFC championships where he's got the lead and all you have to do is don't jimmy it up. And what does he do? Throws a pick to somebody that it's like, it wasn't even remotely close to a receiver. It wasn't tipped at the line. No, you just made a really bad decision. And he does it all the time. So no, I can't.
Yes. It's very rarely a good thing when people use your name as an adjective.
Exactly. He jimmies it up, man.
It's not very good.
Jimmy.
But yeah. So I bet you were happy about having him though when your quarterback goes down. Dude. He's out for the season. There goes.
I didn't know anything. So Trey Lance, man, like I was hoping. See, I'm hopeful that Trey Lance is the guy. Even with you telling me that you think he's done and whatever, I'm still hopeful that he's. I'm still hopeful.
I think he's done.
See, I'm hopeful.
Broke his ankle. Broke his ankle.
I think he can come back from that. He didn't break his arm. You know what I mean? But yes, there was only so mad I could be when he goes down, and the guy that comes in to replace him just took us to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Like there's only but so mad I can be because that's literally almost the same team that could have won it 2 years ago and could have went to the Super Bowl last year. Um, do I think that he's going to do it this year? No, I hope he does, but I don't. If I'm putting money down, no. But yes, it was.
Yeah.
It did feel nice to know that he was the one coming in. So I know it won't be a terrible season, but I don't think we're going to win it all. But at least we won't be like 0-17.
And it's sad because you really do have a good team. You're just only a quarterback away. That's all you are.
Man. Our
You're
window's
only
there.
a quarterback away. Yeah.
But,
and you're going to miss that window if you guys don't get the right. And that's why I think Trey Lance is gone. I think that you guys can't afford to stay on this path.
Okay. So you think he's gone as in they're going to get rid of him, not that he's just never going to play again?
I think he's never going to be the starter ever again.
Really? Wow.
Because number one, I don't think you guys can wait it out. I think that Garoppolo is going to keep you close enough to know that, man, you guys can make it if you just get somebody else. You know what I mean? I just don't think that. I think you can't afford to wait. Your window is small, man. You got great players now.
Yeah, we're gonna
we
lose
all
them.
know. We all know how that doesn't last multiple years, man.
Nope.
You got to go to the Super Bowl when you got the team.
Yep.
There's a lot of players that are mediocre linebackers that have Super Bowl rings, but there are no real mediocre quarterbacks with Super Bowl rings that are first string quarterbacks. You know what I mean? But I'm saying that's one. You know what I mean? Like usually, in order to be a starting quarterback and have a Super Bowl ring, you got to be the guy, right?
Yeah.
So, but you can be a mediocre any other position and still have a Super Bowl ring, right? You can't afford to not have a star quarterback come in. And I think you guys have some great options coming up. I think, first of all, I think this Brissett kid, he's gonna light it up for a while on the Browns. And I think we know I think we know he's not going to be in Cleveland. I think, nobody's ever made mention that he's going to stay. I think Cooper might have a chance. Cooper Rush in Dallas might have a chance to show people that he might have some stuff. I don't think
buy
he's
that
the guy
one
either. I'm just saying there's guys out there that because of injuries are going to get some looks, right? And then we got supposedly a pretty good quarterback freshman team coming out next year. So
I know the guy from Alabama.
I don't know if you can afford to have a guy that now is repairing a broken ankle, hasn't played in 2 or 3 years, to now play at the same level of competition that he did his junior year in college.
Thanks for bringing me down. Thanks for bringing me down, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. I just
sucking my hope right now.
I was hopeful. I still hope that Jimmy G is your guy, man. I'm cool with you at least going to the Super Bowl just so I can see Jimmy G get there to get on you about it. But I don't want you to win another Super Bowl because I just don't want it.
If he wins, hey man, hats off, bro. Like you did it. Like because at the end of the day, that's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to get better. You can't just get to a level and just stop. You got to continue to improve.
Right.
And that's a problem. He's not improving. He's making the same mistakes. Yeah. So I would love nothing more for him to take us all the way and win it. And that to me would be one of the greatest stories, right? Yeah. That you come in and you have all this hype and you let people down. They almost get rid of you. You sign for like a $6 million minimum. And then the injury happens. You come in, you take us all the way. Like what an amazing story that would be. And I hope that would work, not only for me as a Niners fan, but even for him. It's just like that's got to be an amazing feeling. But he hasn't shown that he's improving. Like he's shown that he's reached a certain level, and then he's just done.
Yeah,
because it's like when a game is on the line, it's like he's such an amazing quarterback until the fourth quarter when it matters, and it's like he gets overwhelmed and makes really bad decisions. So, but as far as quarterbacks are concerned, like I'm definitely glad we're talking about quarterbacks because I think that I messaged you the other day. So for years, Alabama has been known for like defense, linemen, and running backs. Their quarterbacks were always mediocre at best. Like I remember AJ McCarron and all them. They did good in the college ranks, which it's hard not to do good as an Alabama quarterback when your team is just better than everybody. But when they got to the NFL, they were all like just not that good. And so now, over the last weekend, I'm looking at, all right, Mac Jones is playing great. Tua's doing phenomenal at the moment. And then their other guy, Jalen Hurts. So it's like man, 3 quarterbacks from
Phillies.
Alabama are starting.
Yeah.
They're starting in the NFL. They're doing well. Yeah, man.
Jalen's
Like, so
bad,
hats
bro.
off to Saban, dude. Like, I think Saban is so good, and it pains me to say that because they stomped us in the
Yeah.
BCS championship game. But God, you just gotta respect the dude that just stays relevant for as long as he has, in so many ways that he has.
How many
When he
pros?
needed to, his defense was better and he had offensive linemen. When the game changed a little bit, all right, so he went to running backs. And then the game changed a little bit. All right, fine. So I'll get the quarterbacks now.
Yeah.
And so it's just like he just constantly does what he has to do to keep his team up top. And you know, hats off, dude. Like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
But
how many first rounders
a lot
come out of drafted people come out of Bama?
A lot. I think he had the record like 40 something, I think.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
How many people come out of so yeah. Tua is playing great. Jalen, bro. I mean, dude, come on, man. The Phillies look good, bro. My number 2 team is doing good.
I don't know if that's going to last, though. I'm not sold on Hurts, though.
What?
I'm not sold on him, though.
Why? Wait, why?
He's not consistent. I've seen him for the last couple of years. He has games where he's like, holy cow. Then he follows that up with like 3 or 4 where he's like less than mediocre. So
yeah,
I want to see more from him before I buy into it. That's all. He's just not consistent. But you
know
who is consistent?
I think they got a whole team, though.
Buffalo.
I think Eagles have a whole team. Oh, dude, Buffalo.
Josh Allen. So
I'm
a Mahomes guy. I love watching Mahomes. The things that he does to me are the most remarkable. Like at least 3 times a game when I'm watching Mahomes, I'm like, did he just do that? Like I have to rewind to watch like what he did.
Right.
Josh Allen, on the other hand, to me is like if you had to build a standard quarterback from scratch, like I think he would be the guy. He's big, he's strong, he throws like a rocket for an arm. He seems to make really good decisions. He's hyped up. Like he to me is like he just seems like what you would want a quarterback. Mahomes is like a lightning in the bottle, dude. You can't guarantee that. That's just like a once in a generation thing. But if you were to make a prototype of a quarterback, I feel like Josh Allen's it, man. And I'm not a Buffalo guy, but I root for them, dude. Like I remember when they went to 4 in a row and they lost all 4 of them. Like I root for them, man. Like I like to see Josh Allen do well. Like I do. I'm happy when they do well.
Yeah. Well, when I flew in this past Monday, I flew into Buffalo. I saw more blue than my God, bro. They were everywhere. The whole airport was full of blue.
They deserve it, though, man.
It's Monday Night Football. It hit me. I'm coming to Buffalo on Monday Night Football time. And so I went through, but I was 5 minutes away from the stadium. Dude, it's like a desert everywhere except right where the stadium is at. I mean, it was nothing. Nobody was doing anything except at the stadium.
And they've been like that forever. Even when they've had crappy years, they've been like that.
They're a very good fan base. They remind me like Pittsburgh fan base. They're very close to like Pittsburgh in their fan base. And it's not far from Pittsburgh. So then I go to Erie, right? And I was able to watch both Monday Night Football games right now. How cool was that? By the way, I still don't know why we had 2 Monday Night Football games. What is the whole reason
they do that every year for the first like game or two or first week or two? They do that every year.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it. And then, but I had Jalen Hurts on one, right? And then I had Josh Allen on another, 2 screens in front of me. I was like, oh, this is beautiful. I was able to watch both games. Both of them were just amazing quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of great quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That we're witnessing right now in our time right now. We it's just one of those weird times where there's just a lot of good talent, which is kind of sad because it reminds me like in boxing during the Muhammad Ali years. There were a lot of very, very great heavyweights all at the same time. And unfortunately, when you get a lot of great people at the same time, then one can't be so huge, right? Like
that reminds me of Jordan, though.
They all got
like when Jordan was winning his championship rings.
You're right.
There's a lot of other good NBA players, man, that just didn't. They couldn't get past him.
Dude, Lakers and Celtics were still relevant back then.
Yeah, but it's like when Jordan was doing it, like he stopped Barkley from getting his. He stopped Karl Malone and John Stockton from getting theirs. Like he stopped a lot of really good players like
the
back
Admiral.
in the day. Well, the Admiral got his, but once he got Duncan in there,
right.
Even Olajuwon only got 2, and one of them came when the season was shortened. So it's like it reminds me of the same thing. It's like there was so many who so dominant that other good players didn't get theirs. And like right now, I mean, who do you root for, right? Like if you're rooting for just the love of the game, because I'm a 49ers fan, but I love football. And so I
Right.
can respect a team who's doing their thing. Like I can root for the Buffalo Bills, for instance. But like I don't even lost my train of thought now. I was getting so into it. But oh, that's right. So who do you root for? There's so many good players right now, right? Like you
So
got
many.
Joe Burrow.
So many.
Like I like Joe Burrow as well. I think I
Yeah.
like what he did to Cincinnati. I liked his attitude. I liked that he
Yeah.
came in, didn't make any excuses, took a really crappy team, took him to the deep in the playoffs. He was
Right.
getting sacked 7-8 times a game, and even still, he's like, "No, we're gonna win it." Like he didn't like, "Hey, I need an offensive line." No, he just did his thing. Mahomes is lightning in the bottle. Even what Tom Brady's doing with his career at 40-something years old, winning 7, like Josh Allen, like there's so many good storylines, but only one can win.
Even Tua's looking fantastic, bro. The moves that Tua was
We'll see.
making, those were Mahomes style
Yeah, we'll
passes
see.
he was doing.
I'm impressed, but we'll see because I
Look
want
at
to
the
see
tools he's
consistency.
got, dude. That's a track stars. He's got all track stars on Miami.
Tyreek Hill's a
Miami's
monster,
fun to
man.
watch, dude. Miami was a fun game to watch. I've
Yeah.
watched every Miami game so far this
Yeah.
year. That's a fun team to
Yeah,
watch
it's a
on
track
TV.
meet.
And I've never used to like watching Miami,
No.
but they're fun now because they're all like really fast and they got the right plays designed for these guys. See, we have fast players on Steelers, but Canada is just not calling the plays that show that. The speed.
Right.
We're not showing our tight end power. We're not showing our speed. It's like why are we this heavy? Why are we trying so hard when we got Chase Claypool, when we got
Who hasn't scored a touchdown, by the way?
Frymouth. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Dude, we got Najee Harris and we're not running for like crazy miles. You know what I mean? We got great players, but it's just not coming together. You know what I mean? So to watch a team like Miami where all their little play toys are actually all working together real good like that. It's cool. It's cool to watch a game like that. And the same with Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. The only thing with Tua
and
and all them, the only thing with Tua and even Jalen Hurts and some of the other quarterbacks out there, I'm just not sold on them because I look at the body of work. For instance, James Winston, he week 1 had a good week, and everybody's like, "Oh man," it was just like I don't know. I told some of my buddies I was talking, I was like, "I'm not buying it. Let me see it. Let me see some more consistency." And what do you know? Next game he plays, he throws like 3 picks. Because that's what he did when he was in Tampa. He threw like more touchdowns than any other quarterback, but he also had more interceptions. He threw like 30 touchdowns and like 35 interceptions or something.
Yeah, but Tua hasn't had those issues. Tua was injured. There's a difference.
Yeah, but when he's had his shots, he hasn't done anything remarkable until this season. And maybe the argument can be made that he was struggling with different things and he's got it all. Man. We'll see. Like, I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying I want to see more before I'm ready to sign off on it.
First of all, they've had a lot of cultural issues over there. Something was going on over there, and I don't know what they were, but something was going on over there.
Yeah, but he didn't start out in Miami.
But whatever Flores was creating, it was work. Like it was moving in a certain direction, though. You know what I mean? But for some reason, Flores wasn't their answer, bro. He just wasn't.
But did he start out with Miami?
This other dude, I mean, by stealing your guy.
Oh, dude, that hurt, man. That hurt.
That dude is a freaking genius, dude. That dude is like a little. It's like watching somebody. It's like watching somebody that does fantasy football down there coaching.
Yeah, that hurt.
That is. Yeah, he just looks awkward doing it, but they love him and respect him, bro. And I got them right now. If nobody else, I got them definitely going all the way.
Yeah, that one hurt. I'm not gonna lie. Losing him was just that was a bad one. I'm looking at it, and Tua was selected by the Dolphins, by the way. I wasn't sure if he started there or not, but he did.
Oh yeah, he was selected by them.
Yeah, he was selected.
That's why I said what he was building, what Flores was building, was working. But the new coach coming in, it took it over the top. That's over the top, bro. He's a little mastermind genius. He goes out there and steals some really good players, dude. He stole some really good players. He even got your Mostert. Remember, your Mostert was hurt, didn't play for you. Dude, he's running his ass off down there.
Yeah, I know. That hurts too. But the coach hurts more than Mostert. Because, running backs, you can get more. But the coach, man, I can see the difference already watching the play calling. It's just he was a little savant, which is funny because he's so unassuming. He's this weird little nerd kid, and we managed to find him, and he was like a secret until we started going to the Super Bowl. Then all of a sudden, people are like, who's this guy? And now, which good for him. Like selfishly, I wish that he would have stayed and not been so popular. But, he did his thing and he got his. But it hurts, dude, because he was a good play caller. Like,
dude,
you could totally see the difference in our offense.
You really can. I love listening to his interviews. I just
Yeah.
love the way he
Yeah,
talks.
he's a cool kid.
Yeah, he's like you said, so unassuming, just like
Yep.
he's from the
And
stands.
when you look at our offensive now, compared, I mean, we got Debo, so we're still going to get ours, but it's different. The vibe and the flow, it's not as crisp as it was. It doesn't. Before there was certain games where we looked unstoppable. Now, not so much. And it was the play calling. I mean, Shanahan's a good play caller as well, so we'll see what he does. But yeah, losing that kid sucks, man. that hurts.
So going to our quarterback, Pickett or Trubisky? Would you pull Trubisky now? Do you think we should pull Trubisky, or you think we should ride Trubisky out?
Oh, see, your team is hard, man, because you guys, for years, your guys are scouts. I don't know where you get them from, but I wish we had them. Like, you guys have the best scouting team, I think, of anywhere in the NFL, and you've been there consistently for years. You guys always manage to find good talent. So I give them the benefit of the doubt, and I want to believe that they've seen something to say Trubisky is relevant. Based upon what I saw in Chicago, I don't think Trubisky's the dude. Like, I just think there's something about him. I don't know what it was, like overhyped. Maybe he just never was that good and they hyped him up. I don't know. Or maybe he just is taking longer to put it together.
Right.
So I was operating under the assumption that you guys saw something, and in the right system, you guys can make it work. And maybe you still can. I don't know. It's only week 2, so it's early. But what I saw on Pickett on tape, he looks more like your guys' style of quarterback that fits within the system what you do already. Towards Trubisky, maybe not so much. So I don't know.
So what would be your response? By the way, we're in week 3, not week 2, but
We've only had 2 games.
3. We've had 3.
You've had 3? Okay. Well, you just had one
Thursday. Yeah, we had it last night.
What's your division doing? Because you're 1-1 right now, or 2-1?
We're now 1-2.
1-2, okay.
And what's everybody else is 1-1. Or except for Cincinnati, 0-2.
I think I'd give Trubisky a couple more games to see if he pulls it out. If not, I'd go to Pickett.
Did you see who we're playing?
Well, you just played the Browns last night. Which, how do you lose to them?
No. After that. All right. So then we got the Jets, right? But then we have people like, we're gonna play in the next several weeks. We gotta play Miami. We gotta play Tampa. We got to play Buffalo. We got to play all the hard, and I think Kansas City Chiefs. We got to play like all the hardest teams. And oh my God, bro.
Yeah, I would go with Trubisky for a couple weeks and see if he pulls it out. If not, I would go to Pickett and see what he's got and start giving him some reps.
Prior to last night's game, you would ask me that question prior to last night's game. I would have said, let's ride Trubisky out into week 6 or 8, at least. Ride it out. I want everybody to get all the bugs out, get all their little new juices out, maybe even bring in Pickett after the extended bye week, way around week 9 or 10, I think is when we have a bye week. Ride them out until then. But then I look at how close some of these games really are and how much we are causing so much wear and tear on our defense that is really – they've done some great things, but dude, last night showed the wear and tear on that defense when they have to be out there for so long, play after play after play. So here's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about morale. I'm worried about them feeling that, are we here and we're just supposed to be losing then? I mean, are we trying to?
So?
No,
it doesn't feel like a Pittsburgh mentality to me, though.
It's not a Pittsburgh mentality. I'm talking about individuals. Like, are individuals then going to believe? So does Coach really believe that Trubisky can have us win, or is he okay with us not winning? In other words, the newer players. I'm not talking about intelligent players. I'm not talking about great players. I'm talking about the most of your team is probably a lot of mediocres, right?
But I don't think you get those people. That's what I'm saying. Your guys' scouting is so good. Like, you don't even get the. You get one every now and then. You get the Antonio Browns. You get the running back, like Plaxico Burrs.
But brother, I mean, don't you think that if this is where I'm going with it? What I'm saying is, if Coach would say, it's time to turn it on, kids. All right, so you guys, I know defense has had its flaws. Here's where it's at. I know special teams had its flaws. This is where it's at. I know offense. This is where you. But you know what? It's time to put in our shiny new toy. I want everybody to step the hell up. I
But
think
what's he
that
doing in practice, though? I wonder.
I don't know.
Does he
None of
look
us really
ready,
know,
or
right?
does he look like
Wouldn't we?
he needs some time?
But I would think we would hear that. I would think that if he was not showing out in practice, we'd hear it. I just
Maybe,
think because he's a 5-year college guy, I think he is ready.
maybe.
And plus, here's as soon as they said what the schedule was, and I knew it was like the next 4 games are like maybe we beat the Jets, but then after that it's like good luck, right? I'm thinking, well, then maybe it is a good time to put him in.
I think
It's
Tampa's
like, all
winnable,
right,
though.
we're going to play some really, really difficult players. So we're going to put you in some game time scenarios without all the pressure of having to win. But if you did, what kind of whoosh would that create in Pittsburgh and for this quarterback? What kind of momentum could you create? Because at least if he loses, he can't go out and go, oh, I suck. No, I played, that team. But if you win, what kind of a momentum shift? Because realistically, we could still win our division when you see what's happening with everybody.
Ooh, I don't know.
Unless
I
we're
don't
trying
think
to,
Cincinnati's going to keep doing what they're doing, though.
but unless we're trying to get a better pick,
Right.
maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea. I would not care. We never get good picks. We're never high enough in the
You don't need
draft.
them. Your scouting is so good. You find these
It'd be
crazy
good to get an
gems.
offensive lineman. It'd be good to get the best offensive lineman out there.
Yeah.
That would be an awesome pick to get for once. But no, I'd rather us. Now I really do just want to. I like, dude. We've only scored 2 touchdowns in 3 games. 2
Ooh.
touchdowns in 3 games.
But yeah, but the last several years, even with Ben, like he was on
Exactly.
his
That's my
downhill
point.
slide.
That's my point.
You
That's
guys
my
haven't
point.
been a prolific offense for a while.
That is my point. Oh, dude,
Um,
Canada's look. Matt Canada is not a well-liked man at all in Pittsburgh.
Right.
And you know what? If they have any good thing, they're right. We do need an offensive coordinator that just knows how to use these damn tools, bro.
Right.
And Pickett would show us if it's the offensive coordinator, if it's Pickett, because that dude can play.
So the only problem with like bringing in new quarterbacks, right? This is the thing that I like. Why I said earlier, I don't believe into the Dallas quarterback right now. And I can name at least 5 or 6 right off the top of my head because it happens so often. Anytime a new quarterback comes in, if there's an injury or something, if it's a new quarterback, they always look lights out the first couple games.
Right.
And that's because nobody has any real game tape on them. And so,
Right.
like, I remember when that one quarter, it was, I think it was against New England and the Packers. Aaron Rodgers he was out for some reason. They had this little kid came in for the start, and they beat the Patriots, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, quarterback!" And then the next game he did okay. By the game 3, you could tell why he wasn't starting. Like they figured it out. They saw his tells,
Right.
and it happens so often. Quarterback goes down. Fitzpatrick, it happened to him. I mean, there's so many quarterbacks I can go down the line that they come in for whatever reason. It's a new year or somebody went down, and for like
Right.
2 games, it's like all you hear about is wow, what a diamond in the rough. And then by game 3 or 4, you realize why they weren't starting. Other people finally got enough tape to watch, and so like that's why this kid up in Dallas. You mark my words, give it a couple games. You'll see once these teams, because they get paid too, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
get paid to figure out how to stop these people, and if
Yep.
you don't have enough tape on you, they don't know what to do yet.
I
2
agree.
3 games, they know exactly how to stop you.
I agree
And
with that,
so
though, by the way.
my worry would be with Pickett if he comes in and has a little bit of success when he's not ready for it. Then when they start cracking down a little bit, could that be like a deer caught in the headlights? Could that be like like you ruin them basically?
I
Because
don't think you
some have
can.
been ruined that way.
I don't think you can. I really don't think you can ruin. I don't think there's anything about this kid that shows that he could be ruined.
Right.
Again, he's mature for his age. He's mature for a rookie. That extra year in college, I think, means a lot. The fact that he knows
Yeah, I
Pittsburgh
see that.
means a lot. The fact that that's the same training ground, it's a lot of the same people around him. I think all that plays into this. I think, and look, mark my words. You can make fun of me all you want in the years to come if I'm wrong. I just have some sort of feeling that this kid is going to be a hell of a lot better than what all of us think he's going to be. I don't know why I was so big on Pickett a year ago before his senior year. Remember, before his senior year, I was already saying I want Pickett.
Yeah, no, I remember.
There was something about this kid for some reason that I'm just feeling that he's something special. I
Yeah,
feel
maybe.
that he's something special. And so like here's the thing. Imagine if he were Josh Allen on the sidelines and we just didn't know it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Right?
yeah. I mean, of course. But that's the thing, right? Is everybody always thinks they have the next Josh Allen
But
or the
we
next
know
Mahomes
Trubisky's
or
not
the
it. But we know
no.
Trubisky's not it.
He's
So
definitely
what
not
does
it.
so what's the where's the negative? And we start Mason.
No, that's he's your Jimmy.
Yes, Mason is our
It's
Jimmy,
just
yes.
not as good.
But he is our exactly. He's not as good as Jimmy. I'll take Jimmy. But right now I want to
Jimmy
take
could do
Pickett.
good in
I'll
the
take
right
Pickett.
system, maybe.
I'll take Pickett. And I
Yeah.
think we get Pickett. I think we get Pickett. We show Canada's weaknesses or strengths. If Canada's not the guy, then that's what we scout for next year. Get it. Bring in that offensive coordinator. Let's go.
Do they even know how to do that? I mean, they're excellent scouting
That's
players,
what
but are they even good at scouting like staff?
Defensive staff.
Okay, because like
Yeah.
they've only hired like 2 coaches in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So are they even? They're so inexperienced in hiring like coaches and coordinators. Do they even know how to do that? Like,
You're hitting on exactly what Pittsburgh has a problem with Tomlin. The reason Tomlin gets so much crap in Pittsburgh is because they say he's great with the defensive staff, puts together great defensive staff because he's defensive. But when it comes to offensive staff, like he does
like
nothing to help it.
You had Cowher for like what 20-something years, and then now Tomlin's been there for another 17 years. So for almost 40 years, you've only had 2 people.
3, yeah, for sure.
You guys had that one, didn't you? The guy from Indianapolis, that old guy, that was the offensive coordinator for Peyton Manning. I can't remember his name at the moment, but wasn't he there?
We had Aria, Arians or whatever.
Bruce Arians, yeah, he was there for a while.
We had Bruce Arians, man.
But I thought that guy came in there for a little while after Peyton left. I thought the guy came in there. I have to look that up.
The guy that was the Tampa coach as well. Is that who you're talking about?
No, he was an offensive coordinator. He's always wears glasses.
That's what I want. That's what I want.
Bruce
That's
Arians?
what I want. No. You know who I'm talking about. Black coach, was a coach for I think he was on the Colts and he was Tampa Bay. I think he took Tampa Bay to a Super Bowl. Oh my God, what's his name?
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about. He was their head coach for a little while, for like a year.
And he trained, and I think, and by the way, I think our coach was under him. I think Tomlin was under him, but I would like it flipped. I would like it and then he's always on TV talking. God, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh wait, you're talking about Tony Dungy?
Tony Dungy.
No, he's defense.
I want Tony Dungy.
He's not coming back. That dude is too into Jesus, man. He's not going anywhere.
I want Tony Dungy, bro.
Yeah, everybody wants Tony Dungy. He's not going anywhere.
Or go out there and pay Romo and tell Romo to come be an offensive coordinator.
I think Tony Romo should be a defensive coordinator because he seems to know everything the offense is going to do before they do it. So I don't know why they wouldn't put him on defense because he could tell him, hey, bro, every single time stand here, he's just going to pass you the ball. Like that dude is like a weird savant, man.
That's what's missing. We need some fantastic. You know who I really want though? I even said it when I was in Pittsburgh. What I said when I was there, I said, bring back Chucky. I want Chucky,
dude.
Chucky knows quarterbacks. He knows how to spark people up. Dude, he's the one that created that whole Raiders team. That Raiders team is better than the way they played last year, and they would have been better because of Chucky.
Yeah, but he's been bitten by the racist bug, so he's not.
Would bring back, but a black coach hiring him could work. Bring back Chucky. Bring in.
He's
Chucky.
done. He's done. He's not even on TV. He's just disappeared. He's gone.
That's what I'm saying.
They just erased him from our memories.
I'll take him. I like
which
Chucky.
Sucks too because I don't think he deserved that either. But whatever.
No, he's the Pete Rose of football. Bring in Chucky.
Yeah, I can see that.
Bring in Chucky. He loves the sport. I'm sure he's hurt as hell, and I think Tomlin could knight him. And we're the blackest team in football, bro. We knight him and say, "Nah, he's all right. We forgive him." Let's bring him in.
I don't see that happening. I don't see the rest of the.
We need an offensive
people
coordinator.
out there.
We need an offensive coordinator.
But I think he was a defense guy, anyways. No, he was offense.
Yeah,
I'm surprised Rex Ryan hasn't gotten another job. Rex Ryan did really well in the Jets. Surprised he isn't.
I don't know who to get, bro. I'm just saying, Canada's not it. Canada's not it. We need somebody really. We need somebody like your guy. That little crazy kid.
Well, he's not ours anymore.
I know.
We replaced him with somebody, but I don't know. We'll see. It's yet to be determined. Need another McVay.
The good thing is that football's back.
Yes.
I think that's the good thing is that we're talking football again. I guess you're Notre Dame. You're not talking about that.
Oh my god,
You
dude.
guys couldn't even beat Marshall. You lost your ranking. You don't even have a number in front of your name anymore.
We shouldn't. We don't deserve it.
Texas
First of
does.
all, first of all, what moron in the AD's office said, "Hey, we got a brand new coach that's never been here before. We got a brand new quarterback who's starting for the first time ever for us. Let's go ahead and open up our first game on the road against number 2 Ohio State. Let's do that." What moron thought that that was a good idea? And then, yeah, losing to
The
Marshall,
same
that's
moron
just
that went against Marshall in week 2.
them going against Marshall. But Marshall's a no name. Like, we should not have lost to Marshall. That was unacceptable. That's embarrassing. That is what is wrong with you. And even Tommy
You
Reese, their coordinator, had to come out and be like, "Hey, dude, that's on me." Blah blah blah. You're damn right. It's on all of you. You should not have. You're Notre Dame, man. What are you doing losing to Marshall? You should be
did you get
embarrassed.
you wouldn't have beat Ohio State in week 7, bro.
Maybe not this year. I don't know. I haven't seen enough to be impressed with us this year. I think this is going to be a bad year for us. I think. I don't know. The quarterback
But I know
is
they
he's good. What say it? What?
No, I didn't mean to throw you off. I was just
Oh,
thinking that we almost beat Bama by 1 point, bro. 1 point we lost to Bama. Texas.
man, but you
1
still
point.
lost.
1
I
point.
mean, you look good.
1
You guys have looked.
point to Bama.
The Longhorns
We
have
got a
looked
ranking
better.
out of it. We got a
Yeah,
ranking out of it. We had no
yeah,
number in front of our name
yeah.
until we did
No,
that.
you guys have looked better this year than you have in a very long time. Which is good. I think college football is better when Texas is good. Like I do. When Mac was there and you guys were like the cornerback university and just lighting people up on defense. I think things were just better but right now I don't like the fact that it's like 3 teams. It's Alabama, it's Clemson. I don't like
Yeah.
that. I
Georgia.
like it when more teams
Yeah.
could actually win.
Right. You know what put it in perspective the other day for me? How bad Texas has been when it said Colt McCoy and it said like 12th year in NFL. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Like he's been in the NFL forever now. Colt McCoy was our national champion, bro. And now he's like
no way. Vince
he's
Young,
almost
dude. Vince Young was so much better.
Oh, I love Vince Young. No.
Vince
Vince Young.
Young was the
Oh,
man,
no.
dude.
Love it. But that's even longer away. What
Yeah.
is that? What year is that?
Well, you guys also, you want to go long, you had Ricky Williams there, which was phenomenal.
No, you're going way too far back. I mean, like Colt McCoy was like there though. He was at championship level.
Every time you say Colt McCoy, the only thing I picture was the moment I became an Ndamukong Suh fan. The moment I became an Ndamukong Suh fan for Nebraska is you guys were playing him in a bowl game, and Colt McCoy was playing him, and one of the running backs was given the ball, and Ndamukong Suh just reached out, grabbed the dude one-handed as he's running past, and just pressed him down to the ground. I was just like, holy cow. That was the moment I became an Ndamukong Suh fan. It was against you guys. I think you guys, I don't remember if you won or lost that game against Nebraska, but that's what, when you say Colt McCoy, that's what I either think of that or Colt McCoy completely blown it on the Brown sideline.
Well, we got some players now. Man, Bijan Robinson is.
You guys are better than you have in a long time. And that's cool. I don't even know who your head coach is right now. They got rid of that one guy, I think, so that's a new one.
Sarkisian.
Oh, is it? Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah, that makes sense. He's a pretty good coach. But I think isn't he the one that had some problems
turned it around
with
in the last 2 years.
DUI and stuff?
You got to give people a chance.
Yeah, I know. I think that's what it was.
Chances to people. That's why I want Chucky back. I want Chucky back. Matter of fact, bro, I'm good. I'm good with Antonio Brown going to. Let me see. What team would I put him on right now? What team?
Wherever team you want to kill.
No. What team could use a good? All they need is someone to pass the ball to. I would give him to Dallas. Let Dallas deal with him.
Go ahead. Make them even more overrated.
Let Dallas do.
Is there a team that has sucked more than Dallas that's got more attention? Like, I don't understand. They suck so bad
with great players.
Yeah, you look at their roster.
I love it, dude. But Micah Parsons, bro, come on, dude. Oh my God, that guy's a Pittsburgh Steeler. He's on the wrong team. That guy plays like a Pittsburgh Steeler. He should be on the Steelers. How he's on Dallas, I don't know.
They suck so bad every year, and yet every year people want to talk about them so much. This is going to be the year. No, it's not.
He's gonna be the best defensive guy with no Super Bowl ring ever.
Maybe.
He's bad,
Oh,
dude.
well.
He is bad. Have you watched his play?
No. It's against my religion to watch Dallas.
Dude. Oh, he's so fun to watch. He is amazing, bro. He's just
I can't stand Dallas. Even like, first of all, I'm a Niners fan, so I'm not even allowed to like them because we go back and forth so much in the '90s. But and I'm sure he's a nice guy. You know, I know you're partnered up with him and you hang out with him, but I think he stole the running back record there.
You're talking about Emmett?
Yeah, overrated.
Don't
100%.
you dare get me in trouble with Emmett,
100%.
Don't you shut up.
I think he ran behind the largest offensive line that has ever been created, and you could fall forward and get 3 or 4 yards. It pissed me off so much when he got the running back thing because I think Barry Sanders should have had it, and Barry Sanders would have had it had he not just quit because he didn't want to take it off of Walter Payton.
I'm gonna do exactly what Emmett would do to you right now. This is exactly what he would do with you.
What, freeze? Well,
no, he would just tilt his head and that cool. He's got just a cool look to him. He just goes,
yeah, whatever. You do your thing, bro. But you're not gonna convince me that he's the reason why they got the rings.
But did he?
Well, like I
that's
said,
all I got to say. That's all he would say.
You're not going to convince me that the reason why they have the rings was him. I think Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman were much bigger reasons why.
Brother,
I think
any
running
every
back
category of running back, he's in the top.
Well, when you play for 75 years against the biggest offensive line, you're going to rack up things.
Come on, man. He was fast as hell. They couldn't even catch his ass.
Anyways, that dude ran like an
opinions about Emmett Smith on this show or Trinities and Trinities alone.
That's
Emmett,
fine.
I love you, brother. I would never, ever speak such blasphemy against you. And I'm a Steelers fan, and yet I still wouldn't speak that blasphemy.
Don't get me wrong. If I ever show up to one of the events or whatever and he's there, hey man, nice to meet you.
I'm gonna pull this tape.
That's fine. Hey dude, I'm man enough to have the debate with him. Because he's got to admit, come on, man. If there's if you're a running back and you're forced to pick like the best offensive line and build it, come on, man. They were all like over 300 back when that wasn't what they were doing. Like Dallas started that. I mean, kudos to them. Now everybody does it. But back then, dude, those guys were stout. Like you literally could fall forward and get 5 yards before anybody even touched you. So of course he got a ton of yards. But
he did it in Florida too, though. You know what I mean?
I'm a Barry guy. I think Barry Sanders is the best running back.
He was a standout in University of Florida too, though. You know what I mean? He didn't stand out in Dallas.
I'm not saying he's not an NFL caliber running back. I'm not saying he's a bad running back. I'm just saying he's not number one. Dude, nobody said name one person other than him who thinks he's number one. Everybody either says sweetness with Walter Payton, they'll say Barry Sanders, LaDainian Thomas, and there's a lot of names out there that people will pick. I've never heard anybody say Emmett. I just haven't heard. Nobody thinks he's number one, other than him, and maybe his mom or something.
He knows I love Bettis though. So I'm Bettis.
Bettis is a big boy.
Yeah, but Bettis is not as fast. It's a whole different type of runner. You know what I mean? It's a whole different, different type of running back. Yeah, he's the bus.
Yeah, of course.
I was disappointed. His bar and restaurant were closed, bro. I was disappointed. I went there thinking it was going to be open, and it was closed.
That tackle in Bettis is like COVID. Tackling a circle with arms, man. Like nobody wants to tackle that big dude. That was like Marshawn Lynch, bro. Like Marshawn Lynch to me was a so I'm a Barry Sanders guy. I think he to me is the best ever. But boy, I love watching Marshawn Lynch run. That dude ran like a Mack truck. Like he has so many runs where he just runs right over or through people. Like, which is yet another reason why I don't think Tom Brady should have that ring. Because if they would have just made the play call and handed it off to Marshawn, that'd be a Seattle Super Bowl. But for whatever stupid reason, they decided to pass on the 2-yard line. But Marshawn Lynch is another example of a running back that's like a Jim Brown type, man, where they're just going to run right over you. I respect that, dude.
That's right.
I do. I respect that.
I mean, I want more out of Najee. I want Najee to do that more, man. I want, because he does it sometimes. You know what I mean? Where you just see him just like, he just push. He'll just grab people's heads and just move them.
Well, that's what Tennessee does. He doesn't run over his people as much, but he's got that stiff arm. It's
Yep.
like,
I'm saying that's stiff arm. And that's what
it's the
Najee does. He
best
does
stiff
that.
arm.
He stiff
Yeah.
arms them and then just throw every game. There's at least one game where he grabs somebody by the head. He did it yesterday, and he'll do this and they'll just fall right to the ground.
Yeah.
Every game. There's at least one time where he gets a stiff arm somebody in the face and just move him out the way.
I'm still a Barry guy.
Yeah.
Still
Well, you
think
got
Barry
Debo.
Sanders is the best.
You got Debo.
Well, Debo's receiver
There it
/
is.
running back
Mike
/
Tomlin.
tight end. Huh?
There's
Oh, you,
ESPN right now. Mike Tomlin says he has no plans to switch to rookie quarterback Kenny Pickett.
sure, he has to say that. He has to give Trubisky faith. Doesn't mean he won't switch next week. You know that. That's the NFL, man. They'll say what they got to say. But, oh, well. We'll see. We play
All right,
on Sunday night. We play the Broncos, so I'll be watching that one.
Okay.
It's our Sunday night game, too. That's the game of the week.
Where?
Oh, that I don't know. I think it's in Denver. I'm not sure.
Oh, you would love yesterday. So yesterday's like the first day of fall, and it went from 80s. It was 86 degrees on Wednesday, right, in Pittsburgh. It was 60 degrees on Thursday.
Love it.
The first day of fall was actually the first day of fall, my brother. It was like I was thinking about you all day. I was like, what the hell happened to the temperature, man? It got
That's
cold,
funny,
bro.
That's funny. I was looking at property yesterday in Alaska, and it was 45 degrees up there. Love it.
Oh, what's the property value like up in Alaska? Bang for your buck in Alaska?
Yeah, sort of. You get more than what you get here, but it's comparable. Believe it or not, it was a lot higher than I thought it was going to be. Yeah.
Oh, was
but
it?
It's good. It's decent.
I thought it'd be cheap.
Okay. But the problem, those square footage and things of that nature are comparable, but age is different. Like they're older houses and stuff. They're not as like new and fresh. But
they probably have basements.
Yeah, and you're not paying for that. Like you're paying for the view.
It's free.
Yeah. So
for the
right on.
You're paying to freeze. As long as the pipes are new. So all right. So Monday night. So Monday we have a new show. The Couch Live will be on at 8 p.m. Kids. So if you want to watch the Couch Live, we'll be doing this kind of discussion, except it'll all be about addiction recovery, family issues, counseling type help on that Monday night show. Be on local radio here in Orlando area, WOKB 1680 and 100.7 FM in the Central Florida area. And then on Tuesday, we'll be doing, let me see, time-wise, I don't have it with me, but we'll be doing Dharma Time on Tuesday. We don't know the topic yet, but it'll be some sort of spiritually based show, I can assure you that, where we will pick a basic topic to talk about and come from a spiritual perspective and discuss that particular topic. And the next Friday, I would assume that we'll probably do a show, either it'll be the morning after like this or be We the Middle. If anything significantly happens in politics, we'll do a little bit of both, a little hybrid of We the Middle and the morning after. So unless you got something else to say, Trinity, ready to sign out?
That's it. That's all I got.
All right. We are Dope and Dharma. You can follow him at the Dharma Guy. You can follow me at the Dope Doctor. Follow us at Dope and Dharma. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube page. And if there's nothing else, adios, amigos. It's time for a taco. Goodbye.